Cut your Wi-Fi on, man.
Cut your Wi-Fi on.
Oh, we got twin.
Yeah, come on. You know how we come from.
Kevin Stefanski, they've had all sorts of quarterback injuries. He's going to start Friday. And he'll only have one practice with the one.
It only took one practice, just a single afternoon for a rookie quarterback to flip the script in Cleveland, ignite the buzz across the NFL, and make even rival players say, man, I wish he was on our team. Shedeur Sanders didn't walk into camp with the fanfare of a top draft pick. He wasn't handed the keys to the offense on day one. Instead, he quietly put in the work, studying, learning, waiting. But when the Browns' quarterback situation got complicated with injuries and uncertainty, opportunity knocked, and Shedeur didn't just answer. He kicked the door open. What happened during that joint practice with the Carolina Panthers wasn't just another preseason drill. It was the kind of moment that makes coaches take a second look, teammates rally, and fans start asking dangerous questions. Could this kid actually be the one? From lighthearted banter with an old college teammate to laser-sharp throws that impressed even the opposition, Shedeur showed more than raw talent. He showed presence. And in the NFL, presence changes everything. This wasn't hype. This was a warning shot to the league that Cleveland's quarterback conversation is far from over. In Cleveland, quarterback stability has felt like a luxury the Browns haven't been able to afford. This preseason was supposed to be about fine-tuning the offense, getting the starters comfortable, and easing rookies into the system. Instead, a wave of quarterback injuries threw the depth chart into chaos. That's when Shedeur Sanders' phone started ringing. For weeks, he'd been grinding through OTAs, rookie minicamp, and training camp, learning the playbook, absorbing the schemes, and taking reps wherever he could get them. But heading into the Browns' joint practice with the Carolina Panthers, the situation changed overnight.
As you know, and then we'll play Shedeur at quarterback in a couple different offenses since we last saw him, so he's doing a great job of working at it, but it's a great opportunity for all of our young players in that football game. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Head coach Kevin Stefanski announced that Sanders would start in the upcoming preseason opener after just one practice with the first team. For most rookies, that's a nightmare scenario. Barely enough time to get comfortable with the starting receivers, let alone command the offense. But for Sanders, it was exactly the kind of high-pressure moment he thrives in. The calm, lighthearted rookie was about to step onto the field with all eyes on him, knowing that every snap, every read, and every throw could shift the Browns' plans for the season. The storm was coming, and Shedeur Sanders was walking straight into it. Before the first whistle even blew, the practice field lit up with a moment that had nothing to do with playbooks or drills. Across the turf, Shedeur Sanders spotted a familiar face. Wide receiver Jimmy Horn Jr., his former college teammate and one of his closest friends, now wearing Panthers colors after being drafted earlier this year.
He's funny, he's optimistic, lighthearted. But he works hard. He takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing and doing it his own way in which only he can. So, looking forward to see him, in these preseason games and how he, manages the offense. But I think he looks good, but all the guys look good.
The reunion was instant and electric. The two locked eyes, met at midfield, and shared a head bump like no time had passed. "We had the Wi-Fi on," Sanders joked. A throwback to their college days, when their chemistry was so seamless it felt like they were connected wirelessly. The mic on Horn caught every laugh, every quick jab, every bit of brotherly banter that made fans feel like they were eavesdropping on something special. But beneath the smiles and jokes was something deeper, a reminder of how natural Sanders is at building real connections. He wasn't just catching up with an old friend. He was warming up with someone who knows exactly how he plays, exactly where he likes his throws, and exactly how to keep him loose before the real work begins. And soon, the lighthearted reunion would give way to something much more serious.
I think he looks a lot more comfortable, than the first time he suited up. I think they've really rallied around him and seen that he can lead this team and do well.
The laughs faded the moment the first team drills began. The easygoing banter with Jimmy Horn Jr. was replaced by a laser focus that seemed to flip on like a switch. Shedeur Sanders jogged into the huddle, helmet strapped, eyes scanning the field with the kind of calm intensity that makes veterans pay attention. From the very first snap, he made a statement. His passes were crisp, hitting receivers in stride. His reads were quick, dissecting the defense before they could disguise their coverage. There was no hesitation, no rookie jitters, just smooth execution. Reporters watching from the sidelines couldn't stop talking about it. Though no official footage was allowed, word spread fast. Sanders was dealing. One Panthers player was overheard telling a teammate, "Man, I wish we had him." It wasn't just the throws, it was the command.
Advice, he's had a ton of success his entire life. He's the reason he's here is he knows how to get here. So I'm trying to find my way, be the best I can, and the same with all those guys over there on that side. They've all been great players. There's a reason they're all playing NFL football. So I believe everyone has their own path. Everyone has their journey. So I'm rooting for all those guys.
Is it that you're now being asked as the
He owned the pocket, directed traffic, and carried himself like a quarterback who'd been in the system for years. Every rep felt like proof that he wasn't here to simply survive preseason. He was here to take over. And if there was any doubt in the Browns locker room about his readiness, it was about to be addressed by the man in charge. Before the joint practice even kicked off, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski set the tone with a statement that made everyone take notice. Standing at the podium, he confirmed what some had only been whispering. Shedeur Sanders would get the start in the upcoming preseason game. This wasn't a charity rep. It wasn't a token nod to a rookie. Stefanski's words made it clear. The team saw something real in Sanders.
Coordinator and his teammates. And because he only gets one practice with the ones, it's sabotage. You've got to be kidding me.
He's been in a couple different offenses since we last saw him, Stefanski said, and he's doing a great job working at it. It's a great opportunity for all of our young players. The message between the lines was louder than the quote itself. Stefanski wasn't just praising effort, he was hinting at trust. Trust in Sanders' ability to pick up the playbook quickly. Trust in his decision-making under pressure. Trust that, despite limited time with the starters, he could lead an NFL huddle and hold his own against live competition. For a rookie, public backing from a head coach can be a career springboard, and in this case, it added fuel to an already growing fire of anticipation inside the Browns facility. Inside the Browns locker room, you could feel it. The quiet but growing belief in Shedeur Sanders. It wasn't forced, and it didn't come from hype videos or press releases. It came from what his teammates were seeing every single day in practice. Veteran wide receiver Amari Cooper, never one to hand out compliments lightly, spoke up during media availability. "He's funny, he's optimistic, he's lighthearted," Cooper said, "but he works hard. He takes it seriously. He's watching what others are doing and putting his own spin on it. That's just him. Only he can do it that way." That balance, staying loose while taking the job dead serious, was winning people over fast. In the meeting rooms, Sanders was engaged, asking the right questions. On the field, he was steady, even when things didn't go perfectly. Teammates noticed how quickly he shook off a bad throw and came back sharper the next rep. In a league where rookies often feel like outsiders, Sanders was blending in while standing out, earning respect the hard way. And when you have the locker room behind you, the leap from promising rookie to legitimate contender becomes a whole lot shorter. All the practice reps, the joint sessions, the extra time in the film room, they were leading to this. The preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers wasn't just another August game. For Shedeur Sanders, it was his first real chance to show the NFL world what he could do when the lights came on. The matchup itself carried weight. The Panthers, with Bryce Young at quarterback and a defense hungry to make a statement, weren't coming to Cleveland to play soft. Joint practices had already given both sides a taste of each other's intensity, and tempers had flared more than once. Now, all that tension was about to spill onto the game field. For Sanders, the stakes were clear. This wasn't simply about winning or losing a preseason game. It was about winning trust. Every snap would be judged. Every read, every throw, every decision would be dissected by coaches, teammates, and fans. The Browns had given him the start. His teammates had given him their belief. Now it was his turn to deliver. And if the way he'd handled himself so far was any indication, Sanders wasn't stepping onto that field to just play well. He was stepping on it to own the moment. The preseason opener wasn't just a test for Shedeur Sanders. It came with a fascinating quarterback subplot. On the other sideline stood Bryce Young, the former number. One overall pick and one of college football's most decorated signal callers. Young had been through the fire that Sanders was about to walk into. The expectations, the media noise, the adjustment to the NFL's speed. In the days leading up to the game, Young didn't hold back from offering advice. "Trust your preparation," he told reporters when asked about Sanders. "The game moves fast, but you can't let it rush you. Play your game." It wasn't just lip service. Young understood the unique pressure of being a young quarterback expected to perform right away, especially when eyes from across the league are locked on you. For Sanders, the moment carried a certain symmetry. Here was a player who had been where he was now and thrived. Facing Young in the Panthers wouldn't just be about competing. It would be a measuring stick, a chance to prove he could hold his own against a quarterback who had already walked the path. And if Sanders had his way, this wouldn't be a lesson in humility. It would be a statement. From the moment the Browns stepped off the team bus, you could feel it. This wasn't just a preseason warm-up. The air around Cleveland Browns Stadium carried a charge, the kind you only get when something big is about to happen. Fans packed the stands early, some wearing Sanders' jersey before he had even played an official NFL snap. On the sideline, Myles Garrett was his usual animated self, hyping up the defense and making sure the rookie quarterback knew one thing: we've got your back. Coaches moved with a mix of focus and urgency, as if they knew this night could set the tone for more than just the preseason. When Sanders jaunted onto the field for warm-ups, the crowd responded instantly. Cheers, phones in the air, all eyes locked on him. He didn't wave, didn't smile for the cameras. He just locked in, zipping passes to receivers and running through drills like a man who had been here before. This was more than game day. It was the start of an audition that could rewrite the Browns' quarterback future. And by the look on Sanders' face, he wasn't stepping into the spotlight to survive. He was stepping in to shine. The stadium lights burned bright, the kind that make every blade of grass look sharper, every detail more intense. The Browns won the coin toss, and within moments, it was official. Shedeur Sanders was taking the field. As he trotted into the huddle, you could see it in his eyes. Zero panic, no hesitation. His linemen leaned in, waiting for the call. Receivers locked their gaze on him. Even from the stands, you could sense it. This was his huddle now. Across the line of scrimmage, the Panthers' defense didn't blink. They were ready to test him early, to see if the rookie could be rattled. But Sanders didn't flinch. The snap came, and in that heartbeat between taking the ball and making his read, the noise of the crowd seemed to fade. This wasn't just the start of a preseason game. It was the start of a story. Every throw, every decision from here would shape how Cleveland saw its quarterback future. And as Sanders dropped back for that first pass, you got the feeling the moment wasn't too big for him. If anything, the moment had been waiting for him. By the time the final whistle blew, the scoreboard didn't matter nearly as much as the statement Shedeur Sanders had made. For a rookie stepping into his very first NFL preseason start, he showed poise, command, and flashes of the talent that had scouts buzzing long before draft night. Bryce Young's advice about trusting your preparation seemed to echo in every confident throw Sanders delivered. The chemistry with his receivers, the way he handled pressure, the leadership in the huddle, it was the kind of debut that doesn't just earn respect, it demands it.